Hey, Hunters, Halozu here with another first look at the Villainous Options Revised. So, we've seen the subclasses, and now we are on to the feats. So, this is only covering Origin and Epic Boon feats. The Path feats are not being revisited yet. So, I also don't think we're getting general feats in this book, as the Path feats are general feats. Regardless, let's look at the Origin feats. So, we get a Toner's Grace. Also note, we don't have any backgrounds with this. However, I feel like we're gonna get some backgrounds with this. At least like one per origin feat. So we have a Toner's Grace. So you get Disarming Mien. Hostile Attitude doesn't impose disadvantage on persuasion checks to influence that creature. So actually surprisingly good. And then Parlay, we take the disengage or influence action. Each creature in 5 feet of you has advantage on the next ability check or saving throw it makes. So once again, surprisingly useful. It's situational, but if you're the party face, this is actually kind of good as a way to be like, hey, I can persuade better and also uh the inevitable, yes, here's, you know, oh yeah, the people around me are able to back me up better. So it, just in case, hypothetically speaking, you uh fail to persuade or, provoke hostile reactions, your buddy can intimidate if necessary with advantage. So yeah, a Toner's Grace is actually a good one. That one, I might even like. That one's actually worth considering as like a Graviton Warlock if you're going to be party face. So that one's surprisingly good. Raised by Cultists. Bloody Revelation. When you become bloodied, you can use a reaction to gain heroic inspiration. I'm not a fan of using a reaction for it. I feel like it should be like once per combat when you become bloodied, you get inspiration. So it's not competing with defensive reactions. As usually when you're about to be bloodied, you're going to try and use those. So the reaction part, it doesn't play well with how the game actually plays. So I think like the first time you become bloodied, each fight, you can get it or something like that. Then we get Communal Caster. So when an ally in 5 feet of you makes con save to maintain concentration, you can use a reaction to give them advantage on the save. Really nice ability. Not the best. Like, it's not the best, easiest to use in practice, just because this requires you to be next to someone who's a spellcaster. So I feel like this one, I don't know, it doesn't seem to have a clear place in the game. Because it's not often you're going to be standing next to the caster. Like, maybe two casters could, like, stand next to each other and use it, but... Or if it's, like, you've got a melee warlock, or, like, half caster, maybe. I don't know, it's one of those weird things of... it's not bad, but both kind of end up with weird issues that I don't think is that useful in practice. Trapper! Now, this is an interesting one. So you have advantage on investigation checks you make as part of the study action. So you're good at like investigating traps and stuff. You also don't have disadvantage on perception and survival checks while traveling at a fast pace. and you have advantage on such checks while traveling at a normal pace, so just Swift Tracker. Yay. Uh, Useful on some characters. It's travel rules though aren't used too often in my experience. So this one, it's very situational, and then Trap Expert, you set hunting traps as a bonus action and use your proficiency bonus as part of the DC. Certainly useful. Uh, I feel like this one, it's very situational, as only Eye for Detail realistically has. Well, even Eye for Detail doesn't come up that often. Because investigation as like a knowledge skill is very new to people. And I still see people trying to use investigation as a perception analog. Which, granted, investigation has a very weird place in the game in general. So overall, Trapper, I feel like what it does makes sense. It's just a bit too situational overall. And I think the Trap Expert part, it really needs to have more traps to utilize. Like, if there was more ways to use, like, more traps to use, this would be great. As it is, I don't think it's ever realistically worth taking. It's like, because it's a lot of situational abilities of like, how much do you use investigation? It's not used often. And travel rules aren't used that often. Traps, you really have to have a specific situation where the trap would actually matter. So as it stands, great flavor. I would never realistically take this most of the time. Underhanded. Immediately when you roll initiative, you move up to 10 feet. Nice. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would be like, oh, I get an extra 10 feet of movement. That actually makes a huge difference. Especially to people who roll terribly on initiative. So, yeah, that part is good. Now, this one immediately, yeah, that's good. Then we get Fight Dirty. So, when a creature one size larger than you, or smaller, so anyone not your size, or actually, no, it's larger, smaller most of the time, makes the opportunity attack and misses, use a reaction, and knock him prone. So, you have to have a hand free for it, which is, that line is evil. Of Because you don't usually do that. Like, maybe rogue with a rapier would do it, or monk, but I don't know. I feel like maybe it should have like, oh, you must have like a hand free or a weapon, like a one-handed weapon, maybe. So like if you're going two-handed weapons, you can't use this, but like you can still trip them up if they're like attacking you with, and you have a one-hand weapon, maybe, just to make it a bit easier to use. Because as it is, elusive, great. Fight dirty, not great. That's like, you're only ever really using this as a rogue, let's be honest. Boon the Bandit King now. We're on to Epic Boons. So, ASI, that's how it works. Dastardly Charm. You get advantage on sleight of hand checks to pick a pocket, so you're better at pickpocketing. And when you succeed on such a check, you cause the target of the theft to willingly part with the item and have the charmed condition for a minute, or until it takes damage. And you use that once per short or long rest. So basically, you can charm somebody as you like steal from them. That one, I that one's gonna take, like, that one's a very, like, weird, like, there's not a lot of use for that, but I could imagine some very, very creative uses of it. It's like, it's niche but hilarious when it's used. Like, it requires creative thinking, so it's nice for that alone. But uh, it's still very on the weak side, which is a nice change of pace because, my gosh, do the martial ones tend to be just way better than the caster ones, especially for poor warlocks. Then we get Boon of the Cleansed Heart. So we get Cleansed Heart, where you can cast Dispel Good and Evil. No, you don't get Dismissal, but also, they genuinely forgot to make this specify if this was at will or not, because as written, this is at will, which, that is kind of ridiculous. Like, granted, this one is actually pretty nice. Like, I might use this on my Celestial Warlock. It does make sense that he would have this. As it's written, I don't know if this is supposed to be once per short or long rest. That would make sense, I think. As it is, oh gosh. Granted that it is a nice, like, oh, that's actually a crazy caster ability. Epic Boon, which is rare. Though it is weird that, like, good, like, positive associated stuff is, like, cleric-y stuff is the ones that tend to be good, but oh well. Then we get Radiant Reflection, so you're immune to necrotic damage. And when you would take necrotic damage and don't have the incapacitated condition, you can do 2d8 radiant damage to each creature of your choice in 10-foot emanation. The range is not great, but if you can reliably ping this, oh boy, that's gonna be fun. Granted, it is kind of weird. It's like, oh, it's necrotic immunity and triggering radiant damage. Okay, but actually useful for once, which is a good positive to this, where it's like, it's weird, but then you realize, oh, yeah, actually, that means you're actually avoiding the, oh, I'm immune to lightning damage. Oh, and when someone zaps me, I zap everything around me instead for lightning damage. Wait, don't most enemies that use lightning also resist it? Oh, yeah. So this is nice as a, hey, you get an immunity and something that's probably going to be very good against it, whatever attacked you with it. So that is nice. So definitely good. Maybe a bit too good at the moment, though, but at least you don't get dismissal. Boon of the Hunter's Eye. You get quick capture when you deal damage to a creature and try to knock them out. If they're reduced to 20 or fewer, they're reduced to 0 instead. So you knock out enemies easier. So yeah, that one's certainly a nice ability. It's a bit awkward to try and use, but it works. Studied Hunter, then, when you roll initiative, you can choose creature you can see, and immediately know their immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities. So that actually works fine. So overall, though, meh. I mean, this is nice to know, but you're not necessarily going to have the most ways to use this. There's better ways of getting this information. It's nice, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't give anything amazing. And I feel like they could do something more with it. It's just meh. If anything, this could actually be a general feat and it would be fine. Because how often you're trying to just knock somebody out instead of actually kill them. Also, let's take a quick moment to appreciate the fact that we are getting a non-lethal, like, support ability in the villain options. That seems like the last place we would get this. Granted, there's absolutely ways you can turn this into a villainous ability, but still, it's kind of ironic we're getting a, like, oh, villain stuff, and we have a non-lethal epic boon? What? So that was kind of weird. Then we get unwavering devotion. So we get possession immunity. So you automatically succeed on saving throws against being possessed or to end it. So yeah, you're not getting possessed ever again. So not bad for an epic boon. You can see through any illusions, so you automatically succeed against saving throws against visual illusions, and they appear transparent to you. So yeah, you just see through them. Definitely very powerful against certain spells, as you're now totally immune to them. So have fun with that. And then we get undeniable confidence. So when a creature succeeds on a whiz save against an effect you create, you can use a reaction to force them to repeat that saving throw and use a new roll. Can't use this again until you roll initiative or finish a short or long rest. So, yeah, very good. Definitely one of the more powerful caster options. Like, the other two effects, though, I don't entirely know why these are tied to the undeniable confidence. It seems weird. Like, I don't know. Granted, I guess they needed something good to give them, but uh, it's still kind of weird. As it is, though, it's not a bad one. It's really nice to have as, like, oh, hey, I really want the saving throw effect to work. Reroll it. And this is definitely a much, much more balanced place to put it. Though it is weird that it's wisdom saves only. Like, I don't know. That one, I feel like that one may need some work. I feel like this could actually just be any saving throw, not just wisdom. That way, like, just about anyone could actually use this and get the most out of it. As it is, the restriction's weird. I don't know. It's not bad, but overall, feats are a mixed bag. It's about what you'd expect, especially with epic boons. Those are hilariously unbalanced. Though I will say, at the very least, they are far from the most ridiculously overpowered one. And I don't care that that one is Eberron only, because it's still so utterly ridiculous that it's like, well, why would you ever not take that? So it is nice to see that these are ones you could actually allow normally and not feel like it's going to be this or nothing. So that's fine. Nothing that'll knock your socks off, but that's unfortunately how it goes with epic boons. They're rarely that exciting anyway. But anyway, without further ado, I hope you've enjoyed this look into the villainous options updated, and specifically the new feats added with it. So without further ado, see y'all next time. Halo Zoo out.